Hey friends, welcome back to Watavue Mountain. Yep, you guessed it, we're at the mountain today, so you know it's gonna be a great day. It was super cold this morning. It was 27 degrees in Alabama. You know that's cold in Alabama. So we're getting a little bit later start than we wanted, but you see Bob's out. It's up to about 36, 37 now. Perfect temperature for us to get after it. After what, you ask? Today, we're prepping for insulation. So there's a lot of prep work we have to do because we changed our minds. I know, shocker there, right? We're not gonna do spray foam, we're gonna do rock wool instead. So lots of prep work we gotta do to get ready to put the insulation in, and that's gonna be the big plan for today. So thanks for coming, thanks for checking us out. We hope you're enjoying this build series and it's helping you in some kind of way, or if nothing else, just making you laugh. So God is good, He is all the time. Sit back, get something to drink, let's get to busy. What do we got to do? We have a couple of external penetrations, right? We're gonna do a couple lights and a couple outside plugs. So what I want to do is I want to cut those first, put those boxes back on, and then we can go back and Sean is going to spray foam everything. All our gaps, all our cracks, right? We have a couple big gaps, so we got this big gap filler. Of course, the windows and doors. So we got the window and doors. And then last but not least, we got the fire block. Is it overkill? I don't know, but it was the same price as the other stuff. And this is maximum durability, and it helps impede the spread of fire. So if any of those penetrations that are coming through the floor or the wall or whatever, where the wire's coming through, I figure better safe than sorry. So we'll do those boxes, and then she's gonna go start filling in gaps. While she's doing that, like I alluded to at the beginning, we decided we're not gonna do spray foam. We saw too many DIYers and even some professionals where they did like a spray and bat, or they did full spray and it failed because they didn't do it perfect. And $2,500, $3,000 is too much for us to spend, plus the time to do the work for me to not get it perfect. And you know, we don't get it perfect a lot around here, so we're gonna do rock wool instead. So shifting gears a little bit from spray foam to the rock wool, we had to get a couple things. So because we have this 12-12 pitch roof, we're gonna use these, what's this called? Provent rafter vents. So essentially, we're gonna use these in the rafters, and this channel is gonna serve to help ventilate between the metal roof and the insulation, so that we have airflow, so we don't have condensation and we don't have any issues there. I'll show you how we're gonna make this work, what all we gotta do. But before we do that, like I said, I have to drill out some holes, or cut out some holes for these exterior penetrations. So we'll do that first, then we'll get after the spray foam and the Provent. Okay, so here we are at this is an outside box going to a receptacle that we're gonna have on the west deck. So this is the west side, those big pane glass windows. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take my little marker and I'm gonna just mark the edge of this box right here, so I know where we want to cut out. Next, obviously, I have to get this box out of here. So I should have done this before, but you don't know what you don't know, right? All right, let me see how we're going to do this. I don't want to pull the plastic. Hold on, I think I got a cat's paw. I can use that. Let's try that. So we got the box out. What I did was I really struggled first, to be honest, but I put the claw of the hammer on this part of the plastic. So I kind of got it right in there and then just pulled it out, and it pulls right out. So pretty simple. So now we're gonna go ahead and drill a hole right here in this corner. And I don't know what size bit this is, but something big enough hopefully for We're going to try the jigsaw first. I don't know if this is going to be deep enough because we have the 1 inch of, and it's that 1 true inch of rough cut on the outside, and then we have the 1/2 inch OSB here, but we're going to give it a try. So let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, it went all the way out. It still came a little wide, but that's okay. Now I'm going to drill another hole down here. I could do a bunch of twists and turns and all that, but it's easier just to do that than to curve it. So, but I don't know how close I'll be able to get with this. We'll see. Not very. So that's all the closer we're going to get, but that saves me from doing a complete hack job with the Sawzall, because you know I will. May need a longer blade here, yep. Let me change this blade and I'll come right back. Yeah. Got to trim the top just a little bit. That's gonna have to do. So now though I gotta push these nails back. Alright, and I reinstall it flush. And then, let's see if we can nail it. on top of nails. Get the crowbar. So there you go. Now if you come over here, Sean, you can look out through the hole and you can see the sky around it. So this is why we wanted to do this first, so we can go ahead and spray foam this, spray foam that. We're gonna spray foam all these gaps so we don't have any air leaks. So got 2 more lights we got to do, so let's get that knocked out and then we'll move on to the next project. Okay, so for these Provents, like I said, this is going to serve as a channel for airflow, and if there's any condensation, it'll catch that and let it blow on out. So what else do we need for this project? Really just a stapler, a whole bunch of staples, and a pair of scissors. So, oh, tape measure too. Tape measure, scissors, stapler, your Provents. So let's climb up the ladder. I'll explain to you step by step exactly what we're talking about. All right, unlike some others that I've seen do this installation, a couple things are different. They didn't have hurricane ties, so we're gonna have to contend with these hurricane ties. And then also, their studs were further out on the top plate. So they had a like 8-inch space from where they're going to where they're coming to, which what I'm talking about is right here, right? I wanna seal that. So if we go there or we go all the way out to there, you see we have about 3 inches or 4 inches. And if you look at this Provent, you see 3 inches right to that gap right there. So that's going to work out pretty good for us, that's 3 inches. And you'll see why here in a second. So why do we need the scissors? Because we're just going to do this right here. We're going to come right across here, cut. Ooh, don't drop it.
Good catch.
Cut it all the way down to the main part, and then see this folds back. So now, when we put this in here, just like so, now you can fold this down. Well, once I kind of get it in place, I'm gonna throw a couple staples in it, but so you see the idea is actually, you know what? Because of where we're at, I'm gonna cut down here so I have something to staple to the top plate. So tedious work, but necessary to help keep this airtight. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna seal it again. So I cut that, so now I'm gonna flip this back. So now you see, I'm going to put this into there. I can staple this down. I need a third hand, don't I? There we go. I can staple that down. And then bring these side pieces over, and that's going to help control that air going up. And then we'll come back later and we're going to fill in these gaps. So let me just to hold it in place for now, and we'll talk about stapling in a second. So that's there. They don't make it easy. Well, they made it look easy on TV, didn't they? My big fat hands can't hold and staple. Ah, of course I hit the... All right, so after a little finagling, you see what we did here, right? These flaps came out. This is that 3-inch gap that we had talked about, right? Where we had made our cuts here and here. So this kind of comes up. We'll block that wind directed up into this channel. So I put about 9 staples down here in the bottom, and then about 1 every panel going up. And then I'll wait to staple that last panel up top because I'm gonna put the next panel right up on top of that panel. So it'll make sense in a minute. So we're gonna go ahead and switch it to probably put this camera on the tripod, do a little time lapse, see if we can't get these, at least all these first ones done here with a quickness. As always, we're adjusting on the fly. We talked about initially we were gonna cut down to here and fold it and do all that. It just doesn't seem to be working out for us because we don't have enough space. Like I said, all the other videos I saw, they had a lot more space in that cavity than we do. So now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting it down right here through this first rib. Cut it down there. I fold this back down here on the ground, make a little seam, fold these edges back, make a little seam. So now you see those are all kind of pre-folded. So when I get it up there, I just take it right down to the edge and staple it in place. Let's climb up the ladder and take a look and see what I'm talking about. So you see, here's that piece that folded down in the center. There's the edge. I'll put a couple more staples in that. But that seals way better than what we had when we didn't do that. So now all I got to do is put a little foam, spray foam in here, maybe a little bit along this edge, a little bit along that edge just to seal it up. Instead of, as you can see over here, that's a huge gap there. I got a big gap over here, so that's going to take a bunch of spray foam. So I guess, you know, that's the preferred technique if you have the space. If you don't, just do what you can do. So back at it. There you see, they're all in place. It took us 2 hours to do the west wall. It took us an hour to do this wall. Once we finally got a groove figured out. Now, it got a little tricky, you know, up in here when you have that 2x6 we had to work around, so I just cut that out. You see, just kind of pieced that together. And essentially the goal is just, you're just trying to get that air flowing up through the peak of the roof. Okay, so we're gonna come back eventually and we'll spray foam around some of the corners, especially those first ones we did, because there's just a little bit of gap. Now, is it absolutely necessary? Probably not, but we wanna obviously get this place as airtight, watertight, vapor tight, pick a term, as tight as we possibly can. So now, we're not gonna do that right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump up on the scaffolding and then I'm gonna show you how these piece together and how the rest of it will look kind of as we go here. So now we're up on the scaffolding. I'm going to just, actually I gotta finish stapling this one. Staple. All right, now I'm just gonna, I want them to overlap here, right? Because I want the air to be going up to the peak of the roof, not coming down. Now, if moisture comes down, I get it. You're gonna say, wait a second, you're doing that wrong. However, the main goal of this is to control that airflow going up. So we're gonna overlap this direction so that as the air flows up, it's not gonna go underneath here and leak out. All right, now, like I said, I get you if we do have some condensation, it's going to come on down, but hopefully by the time it gets there, there's not that much, or there's not enough quantity that it's going to come out. It'll just get taken up by the air, if that makes sense. So you just overlap those. And then staple them in place. So now you see we have a channel going all the way from the exterior, from the eave, that will go all the way up to the tip top of the roof. So I'll finish this one off just because I think I need 108 by what I've figured. But I'm gonna finish out the few that I can because I only got 70, that's all they had. So I got 70, so we'll finish what we can, and then we'll see where we're at from there. So no time lapse, none of that stuff. Just hang tight. We'll take a look at it when I'm done with all this. All right, let's take a look at where we're at. You see the sun's going down, so, oh yeah, you can see. So all the way up to the center beam there, I'm gonna have to close that gap though, so I'll buy a couple extra pieces. Like I said, all they had were 70, so I had the number just about right. It takes 3 per plus a titch at the top. Like I said, right there, we'll just add a little bit. So I got this all done on this side, except those last couple, and then as you see over here, we just got these done. So, and that's a little over 12 feet from the top plate up to that cross beam. So if that's your number, then you know you're gonna need, I would say probably 110 or 115. But so now all that air will travel right up that channel, right up the middle, and keep us from having crazy condensation. There you go, little spray foam action. Sean did all those. She did around the doors and windows. Let's see if I can show you this without the sun blinding us, but we didn't do around this door because I still got some work to do there. But as you can see over here, we got that door all sealed in. Again, we ran out of stuff. One can wasn't enough. Up on top there, you see we did the big gap filler. Did around the boxes with the outside penetrations. Windows are filled. That window is filled. So, oh, and then I forgot to show you, this is kind of a hot mess over here. But maybe it's extra, who knows, I don't know. We missed one over here, but that's okay. The little fire retardant spray foam, we'll see if it does any good. There you go, friends. We're gonna call it there for today. No insulation yet. They didn't have it. We had a miscommunication. They didn't have the insulation. And like I said, we still need about 40 more of those Provents to put those up in place. But it's literally taken us all day to get those in place. Once I got in the swing of things, it was a little easier, but it's pretty tedious when you're cutting that bottom and trying to staple it in place. Plus it's a tight squeeze. So I would recommend, if you have like an electric stapler, that'd be the cat's pajamas. Especially one with a low profile on the head, or maybe one that runs off of a air compressor. That might work, but definitely low profile head that can just, because I tried the swinger, I tried the big one, and it was a pain. So we'll come back. Like I said, we got to get more spray foam cans to seal up some of these holes, so we'll get some more for those, especially on the west side. The east side's pretty good. I got it, like I said, down pretty good where it's closed up pretty tight. So, but an all-day project, so plan that. If you're going to use something similar, the Provent or something similar to that, again, not sponsored by anybody. It's just what they had the most of when I went to the big blue box store. And then just, again, tidying up before we get the insulation in. And again, the miscommunication, but whatever, it happened. So another great, successful day at the mountain. We couldn't be more happy. I can almost feel it getting warmer in there, even without the insulation. I think it's all psychosomatic, but either way, I feel better to have that done The electric is completely done. I've got it completely figured out. We're done. Everything runs the way it's supposed to. The water's flowing. Everything's good. God is good. He's been good to us. You know, it's only the beginning of the year, still January here, and it's already been a great year. It's successful here, success in suburbia. So count your blessings. Thank God. Talk to him every day, just like I'm talking to you, and he'll be there with you, whether you want him to be or not. He's there. So, as always, thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. If you've enjoyed this build series, what we're doing, especially this video, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon so you know when we post new content. And then, of course, look up this way. We're going to post a new video. I let YouTube pick it. I don't know. Whatever you like to watch, that's what they're going to pick for you to watch. So, enough of me rambling. Thanks for coming. Be safe. God bless.